Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I call to order this special meeting and executive session of the Scottsdale Unified School District Governing Board. The date is Monday, May 7th, 2018. The time is 1:30. Start with a roll call from my far right.
Sandy Kravitz.
Allison Beckham.
Pam Purdy.
Kim Hartman.
Barbara Perleberg. All board members are present, and we do have a quorum. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. This is going to take a little while here. I would like to make a motion that the board adjourn into executive session for the following agenda items. 3A, pursuant to ARS Section 38431.03A3 and A4, discussion or consultation with the governing board's attorneys for legal advice and in order to consider its position and instruct its attorneys regarding the public body's position on assistant superintendent for personnel and specialized services. 3B, pursuant to ARS Section 38431.03A3 and 4, discussion or consultation with the governing board attorneys for legal advice and in order to consider its position and instruct its attorneys regarding teacher contract workdays and teacher leave. 3C, pursuant to ARS 38431.03A1, discussion or consideration of employment of acting superintendent, including acting superintendent's role and organizational structure. The acting superintendent has been provided written notice of this executive session in compliance with ARS 38-431.03A1. 3D, pursuant to ARS 38431.03A3 and 4, discussion or consultation with the governing board's attorneys for legal advice and in order to consider its position and instruct its attorneys regarding the public body's position on acting superintendent role and contract terms. 3E, pursuant to ARS Section 38431.03A1, discussion or consideration of applicants for interim superintendent. The applicants for interim superintendent have been provided written notice of this executive session in compliance with ARS 38-431.03A1. And 3F, pursuant to ARS 38431.03A3 and 4, discussion or consultation with the governing board's attorneys for legal advice and in order to consider its position and instruct its attorneys regarding applicants for interim superintendent. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Board Member Kravitz. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 5-0. We will adjourn in executive session.
Okay, we're good.
Okay, we're rolling? Rolling. Yes, okay. So the time is 5:28 and we are reconvened in our special meeting. I will also note that Board Member Beckham had to leave during our exec at 3 o'clock. So we will move to our action items this evening. There will be no action on agenda item 5A. For agenda item 5B, I would like to make a motion that we that the governing board direct legal counsel to notify Dr. John Creekard and Dr. Melissa Sakos that the board would like to interview them at a time to be determined for the position of acting superintendent and to continue with the RFQ process for the interim superintendent search. Do I have a second to that
Second.
motion? Thank you, Board Member Kravitz. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 4-0. If that's all discussion there, we'll move action item 5C. I'd like to make a motion that we table item 5C, the information discussion and possible action on approval of vendor Hanover Research for conducting climate survey for students, parents, and staff at all schools in the district. Again, motion that we table that to the next board meeting or as soon as possible.
Second.
That's it. Thank you, Board Member Kravitz. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 4-0. That brings us to our final information discussion item, 6A, update on RFQ for interim superintendent and superintendent search firm.
Ms. Marshall will present that for us.
Thank you.
Madam President, members of the board, Dr. Fuller, there is not a lot to update you on, just to let you know that we do have an RFQ out. It was issued on May 1 to a total of 9 vendors. Responses are due at 2 p.m. on May 15th, and at that time, the district will evaluate those responses. Any questions about the RFQ?
No?
Okay.
Looks good.
I have a question.
Oh, Board Member Kirby.
Is there a committee that's been, who will be doing the evaluation? Is it a committee to be determined? Is it legal counsel? How does that work?
I actually don't know the answer to that question. I'll have to find out and follow up with you.
Okay, great, thank you.
Any additional questions?
Nope.
We may want to check our notes on that,
Board
because
Member Hartman?
I think we may have identified legal counsel, both internal and external, at the last meeting, so we might want to check that.
To do the
evaluate.
Yeah, that
evaluation.
sounds familiar.
To evaluate the RFQ?
Yeah, I think so.
I-
But we'll
that's
validate
possible.
that. Maybe
Okay.
Sandra can kind of
We'll clarify that.
our notes.
Okay.
What did you want me to
Right.
Evaluate the RFQ.
I'll confirm that and
What's that?
follow up. I will confirm that and follow up.
That sounds great. Any other questions on that? If not, then we'll move to our next information discussion item, 6B, update on interim superintendent search timeline. So we've obviously taken action tonight that we will be setting up some interviews and for acting, yes. So our timeline for selection of interim superintendent, I would say that we're looking at our RFQ process to determine our timeline.
Right, your original timeline, and I'm sorry I don't have it on the screen for you.
Let me send it to you.
You sent it to, okay, well, but you do have a copy in front of you, and it was attached to the agenda for the public. Originally had you closing the position today, which it did, and then screening applicants tomorrow. Now that you've switched to interviews for acting from that pool, you then had first round interviews for interim on May 14th. We may need to adjust that a little bit, given that the RFQ does not close until the 15th. Sorry, May 15th. So we'll adjust that and bring you a revised proposed timeline for your consideration, if that works.
All right. All right, any additional questions or comments? All right, then at this point, do I have a motion to adjourn? So moved. Thank you, Board Member Hartman. A second?
Second.
Thank you, Board Member Kirby. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 4-0.
Good job, ladies.
You all.